Here we are, boys and girls. It is the Magic Online Championship final between Florian Pils of Germany, flying man at the top of your screen, and Mr. Reid, Duke of the United States, BDM. Here we are again.
Yeah, we're about to crown our Mox champion. These two players are going to be playing Modern today, which was the last 4 rounds that they played in the Swiss rounds of the Mox yesterday.
All right, so we've got, top of your screen, as I say, we've got Mr. Florian Pils of Germany, and he is going to be playing, well, it's kind of zoo, isn't it, really?
Yeah, he's playing the same deck he played. He's playing exactly the same list he played in those last 4 rounds.
Okay, and he begins with an Arid Mesa. There you go.
You know, and he's got Tarmogoyf, Path to Exile, Kasali Pride Mage. He's running a Kessig Wolf run, which he can search up with his Knight of the Reliquary. He's got a couple Snapcaster Mages, Lightning Helix. You know, he can Snapcaster Mage back his burn spells, his removal spells. Reid, on the other hand...
Yeah, Reid did something entirely different. He's opened with Treetop Village, completely different deck from yesterday. Today, he is playing such exotic cards as Dark Confidant, Tarmogoyf, Kitchen Finks, Liliana of the Veil, and get this, it's Bloodbraid Elf and Blightning.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Jundon, Rome 2009.
Yeah, he's essentially playing Blightning Beatdown.
So these two players are playing for $25,000 US to the winner, 17,000 to the runner-up, plus all sorts of digital goodness coming into their accounts.
Right. Reid is already the Magic Online Player of the Year, which is how he qualified for this tournament.
So Arid Mesa becomes Stomping Ground, one of the Rob Alexander jewels from the Ravnica block.
Which he said when I interviewed him last week in San Diego, Rob Alexander said those are the most requested cards that he gets asked to sign.
Yeah, I have a Hallowed Fountain. That's my number 1 card of all time.
Dark Confidant comes down for Reid, and now Florian's probably scratching his head a little bit going, hey, what are you playing exactly? This wasn't what I saw when I watched the replays from last night.
And there is a Rob Alexander Hallowed Fountain.
Yeah, he said people come up to him with 40 at a time to sign.
Yeah.
Lightning Helix takes down the Dark Confidant.
And all that burn from your own lands has sent Florian back up to 19. Land number 3 is Arid Mesa. It's going to crack, so back to 18.
So a lot of these decks that were running Zoo decks that were running Snapcaster Mage are running Tribal Flames, but I'm not seeing that in this list. He's got Bolt and Lightning Helix as his burn spells. There's a Liliana to take care of that Knight of the Reliquary that just came down.
Which is quite a good plan, because Knight of the Reliquary was already very, very big. Heading up the chain. Did you expect that
a Blightning, you know, a Bloodbraid into Blightning, and then activate Liliana, although I guess Bloodbraiding's a little scary when you already have a Liliana in play.
So there's Elspeth Knight Errant coming down for Florian Pils. We had an Elspeth in the building.
Yeah, that was a great costume. So 3 cards in hand for Florian, 6 cards in hand for Reid, which is that's clearly the main axis that Reid's fighting on right now.
Okay. Did you expect Liliana of the Veil to be such a huge card this weekend? It seemed to be in pretty much every format known to man.
I mean, it's a very powerful card. It's a Planeswalker that costs 3. There's not a lot of those.
That is very true.
And the ones that there are very good. I mean, it was clear that she was pushed to be a very good card.
So here we have Inquisition of Kozilek. So let's have a look-see, and Florian, okay. So Reid gets to have a look at Florian's hand.
Oh, there is a Kessig Wolf run in play, by the way. So that token can do a fair amount of damage. It could certainly trample over stuff, which is relevant. We saw that happen a lot this weekend. I saw someone trying to hide behind a planeswalker, a number of Elspeth tokens, and Conley, who was playing the Knight of the Reliquary Decasic Wolfrun in his zoo list, was able to, at instant speed during combat, search up the Wolfrun and trample over a token and several blockers, and kill a play. It was like a 5-for-1.
So now Liliana of the Veil activates. Each player discards a card.
So Inquisition took Lightning Bolt.
Yep. Reid has discarded a Swamp, and we're waiting to see what Florian does. No stranger to the Sunday stage at Worlds 2009. He made the top 8 of the main event, as it were. A couple of Grand Prix top 8s for him as well in the past.
So this is Reid's second Mox. Speaking of a couple of Grand Prix top 8s, he made the Mox last year, and this year he had 2 Grand Prix top 8s. What did we just?
So activate the Treetop Village. In comes my 3/3 Trampler.
Attacking Elspeth, no doubt. As we can see by the green arrow.
And Elspeth goes down to 2 loyalty. So 2 loyalty aside for the Planeswalkers. Single soldier for Florian Pills from Germany. Five land and a soldier. This the format that we saw on day 3 of Worlds yesterday. All the remaining players in the field played 6 rounds. A lot of zoo, it's fair to say. But whether that's reflective of the format as a whole or more day 3 of Worlds as a whole.
We saw a lot of zoo. I mean, the mana's very good, and when the mana's very good, you're able to play a lot of cards, a lot of different cards, and that tends to lead you to zoo. I mean, that was kind of where the name zoo came from, right? We're throwing all these different colored animals into the zoo together. But there were a lot of different types of zoo. That to me was what was really important, right? I mean, we saw Conley Woods' zoo, which was running Geist of St. Troft. Here comes a Trampley token to kill the Liliana. Thank you, Keswick Wolfram. Interesting though, he opens up a Bloodbraid Elf here, so you can, before cascading into the second Liliana would have been a little awkward.
So second soldier comes down. Reid still at 20. Florian at 15.
Oh, he's activating Treetop Village.
And the soldier gets in the way.
Path to Exile.
There it is.
He very consciously left 1 white mana open. Could have. I mean, he didn't need to trample over for anything extra. He was attacking the Planeswalker, but Reid saw that coming.
I would like your Planeswalker to not be there, please. Thank you so much. So from a few moments ago, where it was 6-3 in terms of cards in hand,
it's now 2-1, same ratio.
Yeah, well, yes, but you don't feel that Reid's got an awful long way in that little period of play. Here we are, basically all square, but there's 2 soldiers and there's a Keswick Wolfrun. Advantage Pills at this stage.
And all advantage goes out the window.
Oh, hello. Had in the game show earlier this week, we had the question: how many types are there on Tarmogoyf to pump? And the poor guy, he went. He was good. He got Planeswalker. He got Tribal. Just forgotten Magic has enchantments. He went for 7. The audience helped him out.
Fresh card drawn, and he draws the path to exile right off the tizzy.
Right off the tizzy.
Yes.
Your linguistic repertoire continues to amaze me.
It's early. I forgot how to say top.
Oh, okay. Fair.
It's actually banned in modern.
Oh. Oh, I can't believe I walked into that one. So, Kessig Wolfrun pumps the soldier. And there's Punishing Fire, so the combo is alive and well.
I wonder if he will draw another Punishing Fire. Oh, look, he does.
By sheer chance. And yet, mysteriously, the one that was in his graveyard has just vanished.
So, Grove of the Burn Willows, you pay a red, your opponent gains a life, and then you're able to return Punishing Fire.
So, what is turning into an intriguing game one has now swung once again the way of Reid because he has his Grove Punishing Fire online.
And he can do 1 point per iteration.
Yep.
To Florian here.
Mm-hmm. 1 card each in hand.
So you go to 14, you go back up to 15, I get it back.
It's the little wobbly staircase, isn't it, from when you were a kid? It's like down to up 1, down to up 1.
2 cards in hand for Florian.
So Florian's still got a fair degree of time here.
Certainly.
Fire you.
He's basically taking 2 a turn right now.
Yeah. More pressing is trying to work out what he's going to be able to stick in play to get round Punishing Fire, just taking them out.
We just got a Dark Confidant coming down from Reid. Florian has something in hand, possibly another Helix.
Oh,
Snapcaster Mill. He does. He has whatever he wants here.
Mm-hmm. And he's plenty to choose from. Path to Exile, Path to
Probably
Exile.
does not want Path to Exile. Doesn't want to give him any more red sources.
Mm-hmm. Lightning Bolt, Helix.
Although he has no mountains per se in his deck. Yeah, he's going to Helix and gain 3 life.
By a turn and a half.
I almost wonder if it's worth it for Reid to Punishing Fire his own Dark Confidant there and
To prevent the life gain.
Prevent the 3 life gain, but
I mean, in one sense, he has inevitability because he's sitting there going, well, as long as everything else stays the same, I have now won.
right.
Couple of cards each.
I have a little bit of a look-see at Florian's hand. It looks like he just has lands in hand. Or possibly a Bant Charm. Which doesn't seem like it will do him much good. Certainly buys him some time, but
Punish you.
so he's got the engine going where he can do 2 a turn here. 2 red sources to use the Punishing Fire, 2 red sources to return it. See if we can't get our cameraman to roll around to what Reid's holding. Just curious.
Both players gradually building up their hands, 3 cards each.
mean, one of Reid's cards is a yo-yo, though, right?
Knight of the Reliquary.
Which is an 8/8.
Tis indeed. That's quite big.
So this is where Bant Charm could come in, because Reid's going to need to terminate or do something here. He's in a position to lose to that in 2 turns.
So much for inevitability.
Yeah. Waiting for Reider-rabbit, isn't that like a John Updike book? A John Updike children's book.
Yeah.
Alright, Reid's gonna not punishing fire the knight.
Yes, he doesn't quite have that many goes round at it.
No.
So he basically just says, let's get you down as far as we can, and then see if I can find a way to deal with the knight at some point before you kill me with it.
His best chance would be Liliana. He doesn't know. I mean, any instants he has are going to be countered by a Bant Charm. Or he would need 2 instants. There's only mana for 1 charm here.
That probably makes him feel he has some kind of puncher's chance. They're close enough in entanglement possibilities to think
Sure.
I can burn you out. I mean, we'll think that's not going to happen, but he will think that's a plan at least.
That's going to get Bant Charm to the bottom. The question is, does Reid have a backup removal spell that he was baiting the Bant Charm out with? No. Doesn't look like he does. Thought maybe he'd be holding a Terminate there.
And for the first time in a long time, we're going to see a card turn sideways. And it is a Knight of the Reliquary. And count up the Cassig Wolf run.
With Bant Charm in hand, I don't think Florian is going to.
He won't feel the need.
No, I think he's content to do 2 turns.
So did Florian draw into a second Bant Charm?
He has a second Bant Charm in his hand.
Awesome. Back up, Knight of the Reliquary. Okie doke. Shortly, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be heading for Game 2 of the Magic Online Championship Final of the World.
Reid is thinking.
Thinking, how do I get out of this one? Pair of 8/8s. He's at 6. 3 cards in
Can get
hand.
his opponent to 9 at the end of this turn. It's going to get him to 7. Goes to 8 to return 2 punishing fires.
Can he burn him out?
We're pretty confident that the answer is no.
Mm-hmm. Four cards to work with. Only one for Florian. That's now two as he goes into his main phase. And now, in come a pair of 8/8s. There will be no blockers. There'll be a punishing fire to 6. A punishing fire to 4. 2 cards left for Reid. A lightning bolt. Only one card left after this in Reid Duke's hand. At which point Florian Pill says, I tell you what,
I'd like to stay at 4.
how about no? And that is 1-0 to Florian Pils from Germany. He did very little testing for this event. Hasn't been able to play as much as he'd like in recent times. Very busy with the real world, as it were. I spoke to him yesterday morning coming into Modern, and he was at X4. I said, you know, you can still make the top 8 and the top 2. And he was like, yeah, I don't think much of my Modern deck. And my friends just kind of gave me a deck, and then they said, by the way, it's actually not that very good. It's like, okay. But he actually finished 22nd in the main event. He was, you know, within a round of getting himself into the top 8. And this Worlds has been noticeably different to previous iterations with the Magic Online players. You've seen them really stretch very thin at previous encounters, and that's true this weekend. I mean, they've been walking around like zombies, but, you know, that's the deal. That's fine. But this year, because the formats have been the same as the Worlds itself,
They haven't had to do double preparation.
they have not had to do double preparation, and it is really shown in the results. When you wade your way through later on today, and by the time you're listening and watching this, it may have been earlier today, we will have seen David Kaplan and Yunya Ianaga in action in the top 8 of Worlds itself, and it's just been really great to see the way that the Magic Online players have left the mice behind.
Sitting right in front of the booth is Andrew Cuneo, who finished top 16, coming back to the Pro Tour.
Indeed. CMU Blue, Cuneo Blue, from back in the day.
Not Bueller Blue?
Apparently not. Randy, talking to Randy, he said, I told them it was Cuneo Blue.
But it would have been confusing on the World's deck.
So we're heading towards Game 2 in the Championship Final. Florian Pils and Reid Duke, if you ever get the chance to play them online. Reid, incidentally, did a perfectly creditable job in the main event, 119th for him, so a positive record. Never really quite in contention in that.
Yeah, we saw Reid, as you mentioned, Reid had a great year. We saw him finish top 8 at Grand Prix Montreal, which was limited. Grand Prix, top 8 of Grand Prix Providence, which was Legacy. Also did well in a couple of independent series tournament events. So a really solid year for him. I've been very impressed. I've gotten to watch him a lot on the East Coast and on the Grand Prix circuit.
And he was absolutely on your radar as a potential champion in this event. In the preview,
absolutely.
You said, here you go, here's Reid.
He worked with Bing Luke for this event.
The Luke and Duke show, as you call it.
Yep. Last year, he got to prepare for the Mox with his cousin, Logan Nettles. They were both Mox competitors, secretly related. They didn't let anyone know that coming into the Mox. They didn't let anyone know there was even a connection between the two of them.
It's like me and Alan Comer.
Everyone knew that one.
Oh, really? So we are underway once again. You have Reid Duke at the bottom of your screen, kicking off with Verdant Catacombs. And up top, Florian Pils, Flying Man. who has 8 cards and is yet to play one of them.
There you go. Shockingly, he plays a fetch land.
Could you fetchingly play a shock land? If you shockingly play a fetch land, would you fetchingly play a shock land? Is that how it works?
Exactly.
Verdant Catacombs magically turns into Blood Crypt. And if you're just coming to the game and Modern is all a bit vast for you, it is worth it reiterating. You can see on the cards that those lands count as both swamp, and now there you see mountain forest, swamp forest, the hallowed fountain that's about to arrive, plains island, so they count for both these things.
Conveniently for the wild Nicotl.
Yeah, because it gets +1/+1 as long as you control the plains, and +1/+1 as long as you control a mountain, which sometimes you can do all in one go. So 3/3 Nicotl will go a smack. And Reid will just take that.
What's this, 16?
To be fair, we've seen relatively little of the cards that you would be thinking would be the signature cards of Reid's deck. We didn't see a Bloodbraid Elf, we didn't see a Blightning, didn't see Kitchen Finks at any point in game 1.
I'm also curious what he brought in from his sideboard. I'm assuming, obviously, 2 Death Marks. Probably another Kitchen Finks. Maybe a Thrun? Time to Knight of the Reliquary, which is already a 4/4.
This is a quick start for Florian, 1-0 up. First half of the Grow Fire combination. And there's the second part immediately afterwards. And a second Punishing Fire, so 2 to the Knight, 2 to the Knight, your 4/4's gone.
The next one's going to be a little trickier to get.
Reid will be hoping there isn't a next one. But he's down to 13. Pills cracks his Misty Rainforest. Down to 17. And here's Elspeth. Things are starting to look pretty good for Florian. Elspeth's loyalty's at 5. So the whole Punishing Fire gig isn't going to quite get there right now.
So I'm just looking through Florian's sideboard. He has Negate, Spell Pierce, Ranger of Eos, 2 Kitchen Finks that he might want to bring in, Gideon Jura. Just go bigger than Reid's deck. We saw when we talked to Richard Bland about his big zoo list.
Yeah.
He felt that the 2 cards that were just most essential in winning the mirror match were Elspeth and Gideon Jura. Yeah, not that Reid is playing zoo per se.
Here we go, time for some Cascade action. Bloodbraid Elf says, here's a Lightning Bolt. You know how some decks are associated with particular players? You just can't help when you hear the deck name, you just think of a player. For me, Jund goes with Owen Turtenwald, because every event that we went to, it's like, Owen, what are you playing? And he's like,
Death Mark on the token,
Jund.
and now Bloodbraid gets in to kill the Elspeth.
Yep.
Death Mark came in out of the sideboard.
So Bloodbraid Elf did very well. You did an interview with Bloodbraid Elf once, I believe.
I did. Bitter rival with Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Second Nicotl, and the second of the game, Knight of the Reliquary. This one's 5/5. 3 cards for Reid. Heading towards another Bloodbraid.
And he hits the terminate.
Ooh. Bloodbraid Elf, you're my friend.
No attackers. Reid is gonna sit back.
15-10 in favor of Florian Pils of Germany, needing one more to secure the $25,000 US prize. 17 to the runner-up. You've got to feel pretty excited traveling to San Francisco from halfway around the world to play for $25,000 in a 12-player event.
Well, and there's a minimum prize payout even for finishing 12th.
Yep. So 3 is the magic number on the table right now. 3 power for Nicatl and Elf and Elf.
Flying Man here has a handful of removal. A Gideon Jura. And what looks like a Kitchen Finks.
Couple of paths.
Couple of paths, yeah.
He's not that far away then, is he? Because if he paths here, depends what he puts. Reid, you've gone with the 1 card. Because if the 1 card isn't a lightning bolt, he could double path, attack with both Nicatl, and put Reid to 4, which is, you know, not far off a world title.
No.
But it would give him a lot of land to work with, and there's double punishing fire in the graveyard.
He doesn't know how many mountains might be in Reid's deck. The answer is 0 in terms of pure mountain. But he does not know that.
So a big moment now. And is that plains an indicator of him going with that plan?
Clearly what he's going to do.
Yep. Action replay. Boom. The path is clear. In Nicatl and Nicatl. Reid to 4, 1 card in hand.
Gets to return 2 punishing fires, or gets to return 1 of the 2. Can only pay for 1.
Are we about to see a little rectangular box in the middle of the screen? It says that Florian Pils is your Magic Online World Champion for 2011. Oh, obstinate Valeth. Not yet.
Goes to 8. He's got the ability to kill one of those Nicatls.
Maybe Florian's thinking, maybe a little premature after all. And Kitchen Finks. Wow. From the brink to not so much.
So he has 3 Kitchen Finks in his main list. He probably brought in the 4th here.
So now Florian says, all right, okay, here's a 3rd Nicatl, here's my Kitchen Finks. You want to actually do creatures? Oh, okay, let's do creatures.
Players are hunkered down now. Here comes out 5/7 Tarmogoyf.
5/6, yeah.
Oh, 5/6, sorry, yes. We don't have any tribal in this final, and I don't believe we have any enchantments either, so that's as big as it's going to get.
Okay.
All right, Gideon is about to come online for Florian.
Yep, he's getting there. Reid will start attempting to
Right,
gain
start
board advantage.
sniping down the wild Nacatls.
Yep. Worth remembering that treetop village as well. That could come in, become relevant at some point, just sitting at the bottom right for Reid.
Florian's life total is going in the wrong direction, but that's okay.
Yeah, the important thing from Reid is that I'm still alive.
Are we going to see Reid attacking this turn? No.
Oh, we are.
Yes, yeah. He's going to send in the Tarmogoyf. Not really great blocks for Florian.
And he just says, "Well, I've got lots of spare life. It's a resource. That's what it's there for."
Another kitchen finks.
Okay.
So he was at 4. He's up to 12 now, and looking dominant. Here comes Gideon Jura, though, which is going to go right to 8. Or is it going to kill Tarmogoyf? Actually, it's going to go down to 4. Yeah.
And away goes Tarmogoyf.
I imagine Reid's going to polish that Gideon off.
Of all the imaginary friends I've had down the years, Gideon Jura is one of my favourites. People at home are saying, Gideon's imaginary?
No, instead Reid's going to go to work on the, keep going to work on the creatures.
Both players one card in hand. Double Finks and Baloth up against Nacatl and Finks, and our friend Gideon. Brandon Nelson stopping by to have a look.
Top 4 at US Nationals this year.
And clearly a pro because he's brought his suitcase on Sunday morning.
Reid's spending some time thinking this turn through.
Neither player in any particular clock trouble in this one. Pretty much even at 23 minutes apiece still. Fi on the cattle.
There's a maniacal laugh in our ears.
Yeah.
Here comes Liliana of the Vale.
Okay, so now we're...
Finishes off the... Neither player has any cards in hand at this point.
Yeah, just one for Reid. There it is. It's punishing fire.
Yeah, the Liliana of the Vale punishing fire interaction is also kind of nice. You can discard your punishing fire and sort of not suffer when you're doing the mutual discard. Gideon says, "You must attack me." I believe Reid is more than willing to oblige on his turn.
Yeah. Oh, okay then, if you insist. There was a moment about 5 minutes ago when it looked like Florian Pills was one bad draw away for Reid from being the Magic Online champion for 2011.
Okay, so Blightning draws a Lightning Helix. Which triggers the punishing fires.
Mhm. Certainly does not look like that right now. Double finks Bailoff.
Players are wondering why he didn't redirect that to Gideon. Triggers punishing fires.
Dutch Hall of Famer Frank Karsten in the crowd. He had a tremendous weekend. Top 32.
Hall of Famers did very, very well this weekend.
Yes. Yeah, as a crowd, they were very good.
Where did Rav finish? There we go. Reid Rabbit wins the game.
There we go. It is 1-1. Florian's like, can't deal with that. Well, let's have a decider, shall we? Seems fair. Pills against Duke for 25,000 US dollars. Thought Florian had it. Really did.
An obstinate Bailoff and a kitchen finks later from Reid Duke, the game was very different.
It really was very, very different. So we will head for a decider.
Let's watch one of these other games going on here. See what's happening in Commander. All right, fine. Let's watch the modern decider instead.
All right.
Reid Rabbit choosing whether or not to mulligan. He does not. They both keep, and we are off.
And we have a turn 1 wild and a cattle from Florian Pills, who was the aggressor in game 2 as well. Very much so.
The beatdown, as it were. Go get a stomping ground. Arch the events.
Okay. Itty bitty Tarmogoyf.
They get bigger quickly.
And they die quickly too. Oh, okay. Mix and match.
A bouncing set of Tarmogoyfs.
Not for long.
Yep.
Bye.
Bolt yours, make mine a 3.
Hit you for 6. And once again, in the blink of an eye, it's Pills right on top. Reid at 11. Is this?
Liliana of the Vale, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sacrifice.
So away goes the Nacatl.
Tarmogoyf attacks, gets itself bigger for next turn with a Planeswalker. I mean, maybe.
Though ideally, Florian finds a different way to kill Liliana and then actually gets to attack. Yeah. Okay. Still having to think about that.
He does not have his hands on the keyboard right now. he is like, I'm going to take a moment and think this through.
He's still got 4 cards in hand. He's seen the plan of burn you out, essentially.
He attacked Reid.
Yeah, well, he saw it not work in the previous game. Kitchen Finks, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So, and Reid's got 6 cards in hand. It feels like a
if Reid doesn't have an answer, he's kind of dead next turn.
Sure. But with 6 cards, surely you would put them on either a Baloth or a Sphinx. Maybe it's going to pay off in this deciding game. For Florian Pills at the top of your screen, the flying
if
man.
Reid activates the Liliana, obviously, Florian has the Kitchen Sphinx to sacrifice. He can attack for 5 next turn.
Liliana's just at 1. Just at 1 counter.
Oh, he can't even, right? You're right.
So it is discard a piece, Thrun the
There
last
goes
troll.
Thrun.
Florian will lose a Gideon. He is planning not to need him. Bloodbraid Elf finds Lightning Bolt, which gets Kitchen Sphinx.
Briefly. We have a 4/5 Tarmogoyf at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Six power for Florian Pills, a 3/2, looking pretty vulnerable in the way. 3 cards for Florian to work with.
He did not attack Liliana last turn.
Which is indicative of a plan.
Pretty much knew he was going to discard that Gideon. Knew he was going to get to 4.
This time, though, Liliana can activate.
Again, Florian is just looking at the computer. He does not have his hands on the keyboard.
He's in his own little private world. Headphones on. Recreating home as closely as he can.
Sending both creatures. Where are they going? They're both attacking Reid.
So Reid will drop to 4.
Oh no,
Oh,
they're
no.
not. They were both attacking
Okay.
Liliana. I didn't see the arrow. Another
Bloodbraid. Kitchen
Into-
Sphinx. And once again, just when it looks like Florian is closing in, Reid says, here's a couple of guys.
And a Tree Tail Village.
Yep.
Florian's obviously also been scuffling for land for the past couple turns.
Mm-hmm. Reid Duke with 3 cards, Florian with 4. Final game of the Magic Online Championship 2011.
There are 2 Terminates. 2 Death Marks. In Reid's deck. Those are his, there's also some Lilianas. Those are his answers. He's going to Lightning.
So that will square things up at a couple of cards apiece. As we wait to see what Florian will be forced to get rid of. There'll be some choices because there won't be any land in there, that's for sure.
A tar fire and a pacifism. No.
It's Gideon number 2. And one more to go. So Gideon was the easy choice. And Snapcaster Mage. 2 cards each. Finks and Bloodbraid face off against a 5/6 Tarmogoyf. And Florian sends in the big guy. It's going to be double blocked by Reid. And Florian taps his steam vents, has Lightning Bolt for the Bloodbraid. And is that going to blow out the math? It is. Kitchen Finks comes back, so the path isn't clear for the Tarmogoyf, but nonetheless a thoroughly useful Lightning Bolt for Florian. Reid at 12. Oh. Pops in for 2. Cracks Verdant Catacombs.
Grave Titan out of his sideboard.
Hello. It's like Worlds 2010 all over again. Wow.
That's the one Grave Titan that Reid brought in from the sideboard.
Wow. Now that was a moment. If you're a Reid Duke fan, that was a real moment. Titan plus double zombie. And now Florian Pills with 3 cards in hand, just 3 land in play. A Tarmogoyf that is very big, but smaller than the Grave Titan.
And also we have some Death Touch zombies there.
Yep.
Passes the turn with no path to exile.
There's Treetop Village available for Reid as well.
The animate, send everyone in.
Looks like he might be. He is animating the Treetop Village. It joins the field of battle. In, coming at you, Florian Pills. Grave Titan, trigger. 2 more zombies. Treetop Village I can take out. I will still take 6, 8, 10, 12. And that's the best that Florian can do. His 3 cards have to be something incredibly special. Or the arrival of the Grave Titan is going to signal a new champion. The player of the year becoming the Magic Online champion. Something from Florian.
He's gonna bolt. He's helixing. Okay.
So Helix is Reid. To put Reid to 8.
Right, his Tarmogoyf has lived. Double path bolt has to be his hand here. I see the little chat box.
Get rid of zombie. 3 to you, and that is it.
Congratulations,
On
Reid
turn
Duke.
9.
You must have had Elspeth that game.
He has
Did you have
won the
Elspeth
game,
that game?
and he has won the match. The 2 players get busy chatting to each other. They've been sitting at 90 degrees from each other. Oh, and Reid Duke lets out a huge sigh. Reid Duke
Well,
We just had to tell the crowd out front.
all I knew was that
is your winner.
you knew what I had played yesterday.
And that
thought you might
is
play Zoo
the end
or
of the Magic Online Championship here at Worlds. Outstanding play. Your champion for 2011 is Reid Duke.